AITA for embarrassing a girl at the gym. I, 16-year-old male, was at 24-hour fitness with a friend of mine, and we were maxing out on bench press. See, the thing is, okay, when you're like a 16-year-old teenager, you're not thinking about other people, okay? You're not thinking about being courteous. When you're that young and you just kind of want to have fun, live free, lift whatever you want, you have to learn that public spaces are not just where you can go and do anything you want to, okay? You have to be respectful. We're both doing well. Hit some nice PRs. I would say our celebrations were a bit loud, but we still tried to be courteous. Okay, so we're probably being a little way too loud. I'm gonna imagine that, someone's gonna walk up and say something about the noise, and that's how it's gonna go down. But really, if you have one person walk up to you about the noise, it is almost guaranteed that everyone else in the gym is rooting for that person that is telling you to not make noise, all right? Now, there are exceptions, okay? I think in a lot of gyms, if you are like extremely strong, like we're talking like 405 on the bar, okay? And you are like, down there and you go up and you bench it, that's like, you can be loud at that, really big lifts like that. I think you can be loud with that, obviously within the right setting, but also I feel like a lot of gym goers, they get behind it a lot easier because it's really impressive. But when you're 16, unless these guys are like, super power lifters and whatnot, and like, genetically gifted Eddie Halls or tiny little Eddie Halls just like running around I don't think that being that loud is something that you guys have the, privilege of doing, because when you get to that weight, I guess you are allowed to be kind of loud, I guess. There's like that different hierarchy. Then out of nowhere, like just appeared. After I just finished a rep and was celebrating with my buddy, a woman came up to us and complained for being loud. Okay, yeah, it's just like I said. She chewed us out for a good minute on how she's putting up with us for her entire workout. So it's not just her, okay? This is every other person in the gym. Being that loud over small things, which seem big to you, all right? But you have to realize there are a lot of other people in the gym. I guarantee every other person in the gym, they saw her go up to you guys and they were like, yes, finally. It was really only about 20 minutes. Okay, and now you can't just... I think I'm going to go ahead and early call this one as, yes, you guys are the a-holes. Let's continue reading. And we needed to be more respectful of those around us. And while she was talking, she was gaining attention of a decent amount at the gym. Because everyone has been hearing you guys yell for 20 minutes, maybe more. All right, you've been loud. You guys have been a nuisance. After she was done talking, I said, "Shut up. I got bigger bobs than you." Oh my gosh. What? Shut up. I've got bigger bobs than you? Oh my God. You need this post to get the worst comments, all right? Like, just need to. She was a bit on the skinny side, and I said, "I'm more built," so it was true. And I was really annoyed, so I hoped that would shut her up. It's crazy, okay? This is insane. Ah! She proceeded to call me an a-hole and said a few other things before walking away. I really didn't think we were being too disturbing, and a few of the guys around us said the same thing. But was it the best way to handle the situation? No, it was not, okay? Not at all. Not even close, all right? And the other guys, okay? Listen, here's the thing, okay? The male is a loud thing. We are used to being around a lot of like really loud people, okay? So when we go to the gym and someone's being loud in the gym, we are more used to just tolerating loudness, all right? However, I like a more quiet gym when I'm working out, not one that's like too noisy, okay? I like to work out, more in private. That's why generally I go in the evenings or early mornings. However, not everyone is like that. And you have to realize that when you are at the gym, you cannot just be grunting and groaning and yelling and high-fiving each other all the time. Okay? A lot of people do really care about just going in, getting in a lot of work, staying like, laser focused on their workout, and then just, getting out because people are busy. That's the thing. You don't understand this as a 16-year-old because you're not an adult, okay? Adults, what do we want to do? We want to go in, get our workout done, and then leave, all right, as quickly as possible because there are other things that we have to do during the day. Let's read the comments some. All right, let's see this. YTA, you were disruptive, got called out on it, and then resorted to a really inappropriate snide dig about her body. Gross. Yes. You're not the a-hole. You are the reason people think gym bros are a-holes. Yes, exactly. YTA, you have been loud for 20 minutes, disrupting everyone around you, and there's an and sign. I just can't read. YTA, you have been loud for 20 minutes, disrupting everyone around you, and decided to offend the one person who spoke up. Be better. Yes. YTA. 1. Oh, this person made a list. All right, let's get into it. 1. For your behavior at the gym, being loud and obnoxious. No one cares about your one plate bench. Yes, I feel like this is deserved. Okay, this person, they need to be humbled. 2. For lying to saying about a dang thing to her. You know full well you didn't say a dang thing. What? What is... For lying about saying a damn thing to her? You know full well you didn't say a damn thing. What? I don't understand this one. Gynecomastia is in a flat. By the way, you should spend more time on the bench. Fan tits! Oh my gosh! Yes, this is what we need. All right, yes. Let's look at the response to this. Oh, I don't know. With guys like Up, if they think they're stronger than the person they're talking to, they're quite happy to get aggressive. I can imagine he did say it. It's not exactly witty. It just makes him sound more like an idiot. He wouldn't have said a thing to another gym bro, though. Oh, okay. Number 2 is saying you're lying about actually saying anything to her, and you just let her chew you out, and then she walked away. Okay. Well, honestly, I don't know. That's interesting. That could be. Oh, man. Yes, these are just ruthless. Here, let's look at the edit real quick. Edit. All right, I get it. I'm the a-hole. Lesson learned. Yes! People like this, okay? They need to be put in their place when they are acting like this, all right? They need to be taught that this is bad, all right? You can't just go around doing that, all right? Oh my gosh. All right, let's move on to the next one. AITAH for offering unsolicited gym advice. This is going to be interesting. Unsolicited gym advice? What does that mean? Does that mean like just going around, like just offering advice to people who are just working out? Because I offer advice to people sometimes in the gym, if I notice someone is like, just like, they're doing a movement or something like that. And there's like a slight way, it's like, it could be better or, they might like get a little bit more out of it. I'll let them go for a little while to do it, and depending on the vibes that the person are giving off, then maybe I'll go up and I'll ask them if they want a couple pointers on how to get a little bit more out of that movement. And if they say yes, then I show them, and teach them how to do it. And if not, then it's like, it's like, all right, oh cool, see you around, bro. I don't know. It depends on what type of device it is, and it depends on who you're giving it to at this time. All right, let's go ahead and read this. I was in the gym today. When I was bench pressing, I noticed a woman next to me struggling while benching just the bar. Okay. As in arched back, audible wheezing, jerking moments. After finishing her set with just the bench, I see her loading 25-pound plates onto each side. This struck me as unsafe for her. If she was struggling with a bar, 50 pounds more was not a good idea. It's important to be aware of what's going on in the gym. Who's lifting what's going on, what weight is on the bar for people, how much they're struggling. Because if someone is under a bench press and then they can't get it up, there needs to be someone like, standing by to lift it off real quick or help the person before they get injured. So I walked over to her and asked if she needed a spot. Okay, that's something... That is something that you can do. Yeah, definitely. All right, that's like a nice thing to do. She said no. So that means no. Yes, be on standby, just in case. Maybe you can vocalize your concerns, but she doesn't want your help. And so, because I didn't want her to do something potentially dangerous, I told her she might want to ease back on the weight and try progressing more gradually. Okay, she got angry and started ranting to me how she doesn't need some strange guy talking to her and hitting on her at the gym. I wasn't hitting on her. I was quite literally concerned for her safety. Was I in the wrong here? I feel I approached this politely. So this guy saw a woman in the gym struggling to lift a weight, and then he saw her adding more weight. So then, out of concern for her safety, he walks over, asks her if she needs a spot. She says no, so then he suggests maybe progressing. I think it really depends on the type of person that you're approaching, all right? Obviously, if they say they don't need a spot and they say no, then that's it, all right? You obviously stand by in case, like, they can't get the weight up, but you don't, you just, you stay, all right? You stay back, okay? But if it looks like a person who is like a seasoned lifter, and even if they are struggling, all right, just like stay by. But if it is a newbie, then, offering spot, could be good. She does seem very on the defensive right here. So I don't know. All right. I don't know. Let's see. Slight YTA. You should have known better than to approach strange women at the gym, even when trying to protect them from themselves. When she first said no, you should have left and then walked away instead of giving unsolicited advice, which she probably interpreted as you wanting to keep the conversation going and hitting on her. Most people don't want unsolicited gym advice, especially at the gym. Just the society we live in, women can also be a little bit more wary at the gym when guys they don't know approach them, offering them help. Yes, that is a big thing as well. Not to slam you or your intentions in this case. She's probably better off watching some YouTube videos or hiring a personal trainer if she wants help. What's my personal verdict? No, this guy was not an a-hole. Sounds like he was genuinely concerned for her and he wanted to help her, all right? This guy definitely not the a-hole, all right? Definitely not. All right, let's move on to one more. AITAH for wanting to work out at a different gym than my girlfriend. About 3 weeks ago, my girlfriend, 28 female, started going back to the gym with her friends. I, 29 male, had been working out on and off in my small garage. She's joined me a few times, but didn't really express much interest. When she did work out with me, she liked to talk a lot, to where I felt it was a little bit distracting. Someone that you love and care about who's at the gym with you, if you are getting distracted by them, that's a little bit on you. I decided that it would be a good idea to also start going back to a regular gym. I've been feeling a bit guilty about not using it as much. I found an old school style gym that appealed to me. When I got there Monday morning, I felt a sigh of relief and happiness to be back at a gym again. I had a great workout and just felt so much better. There is something about going to a public gym versus a personal gym, all right? There's something about it, all right, where it just feels great. I'm glad you had a really good workout. After my girlfriend got home from work, I told her about the new gym. She was super excited and then said, "Oh, nice. That means that we can go work out together now." Ah, okay. Well, let's see his response. Me. I thought you were enjoying going to the gym with your friends. Her. I am, but now we can work out together. She just really wants to be with you, all right? She's a little bit clingy to you, all right? And she wants to be with you, all right? And don't worry, in our relationship, I'm the clingy one as well, all right? I'm always the one, I give her a hug and I'm just not letting go, I'm always wanting to be around her, all right? And we both know, we both know that I'm the clingy one, all right? I'm the one who's always like, oh no, I miss you so much. I was a bit surprised at that comment because she never really expressed a lot of interest in that previously. She also didn't invite me to go work out with her at her gym. Because you have your own gym and you have probably not expressed interest in going to a public gym if you have a private gym. For me personally, I don't mind as I think it's healthy for partners to have their own hobbies, interests, etc. I also think that while it's great to spend a lot of time together, having the ability to do stuff on your own is just as good. I said that I felt it was good for us to be able to do stuff on our own. Ooh, yeah. We'll see how this goes down. I don't know how good this is looking. I mentioned how she likes to be social at her gym and talking to her friends, while I just like going in, lifting, and leaving. That is reasonable, okay? That is a reasonable thing. From what I can tell, the gym goers at my gym aren't super social and are mainly there to get in, lift, and get out. Like I said that, okay? I said that before. Yes, and depending on the vibe of the gym, yes, there are people who want to just get in, lift, and get out, all right? They want to get in, grind, tear up their muscles, build their chest and their arms, and I gotta take this off real quick. Yeah. I had it stuck in my sleeve. I don't know how that happened. I think I grabbed it. How does this happen? Not sure if that audio is even like really usable, but we'll see. It was getting a little hot anyway, so I was just waiting for an excuse to do that. Maybe we could flex. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, flexing is so great. Oh, yeah. Her gym seems to be more about the social aspect, but doesn't have a wide selection of free weights. I feel it was best for both worlds if we each had our own gyms that met our needs. This guy sounds like he is a more hardcore type lifter, and she sounds like, she's more like, passive lifter. So I think that you should occasionally both go to each other's gyms and hang out, but then, you have like your other days where, you just go in and you do your stuff. Okay. I think that's what you should do. Do like an alternation maybe. She got upset and asked why I was being so unreasonable. I tried to tell her about the pros each of us was having for our own gym. She said fine and went up to change. After we had dinner, we were relaxing in the living room watching TV when she said, so about earlier, I still think you're being unreasonable. Us going to the same gym isn't going to end the world. So I signed up for a new membership. See? I told you, she's clingy. I told her how irritated I was that she clearly wasn't listening and just disregarded my opinions. Oh man, this is tough. I don't know. This is tough, man. I really don't know. This is interesting. Let's see how it ends. I said we don't need to spend every waking moment together, and that doing that can be super unhealthy. She got angry and said, "Oh, so you're just tired of being with me." Oh, this escalated quick. I asked if she was serious, said no, of course not, and then went to my office to de-stress. We went to bed. We haven't spoken about it since. Okay. We need to... There's something about just like not being able to read what females want and trying to provide logical explanations for it. All right. I am so guilty of that. I get it though. All right. We need to be more attentive about that. Okay. Like it's a serious thing. You need to be more attentive. All right. Like we all do, guys in general. We need to look past just the logical outcome of what the situation is and what the argument is, all right? Otherwise, it's going to escalate super fast like this. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, after she went to the gym, I got an angry text from one of her friends saying how I was a selfish a-hole for not letting her work out with me. Rather than responding, I chose to ignore it. Oh man, she got the girls involved. Oh jeez. Ah man, she got the girlfriends involved, man. You're done. I think you guys will be all right, but I mean, geez, man. Oh man, she got them involved. She's talking to them about all sorts of stuff, man. To them, you are the a-hole. Yeah. But honestly, I mean, what'd you expect was going to happen? All right. You said no. She goes to the gym to socialize. She hangs out with her girlfriends. Okay. Jeez, man, what did you expect was going to happen? You should have just said yes. All right. If you had just said yes and just agreed with her, this entire thing would have been avoided. So, am I the a-hole for wanting to work out at a different gym than my girlfriend? I'm gonna be on the guy's side. I'm gonna say no. I don't think you are an a-hole for wanting to work out at a different gym than your girlfriend, okay? I think that this was a terrible way to say it. I think it was a terrible way to explain it. But, I mean, honestly, I don't think so. It's not the a-hole. She shouldn't have signed up for the membership after you explicitly told her how it felt. I forgot about that. She just signed up immediately, all right? I totally forgot about that. It seems manipulative for her to basically say that you don't like her due to a small difference in opinion. A little clingy and controlling if you're asking me. Not the a-hole. My husband would spend every minute with me if he could, but if I said I wanted to do something alone, he would be fine with that. The fact that your girlfriend is controlling and clingy seems to have a degree of manipulation. And tattletales to her friend is not a good sign. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Honestly, yeah, it seems like a lot of these are kind of bringing up that she is control. I guess she is. But yeah, this is kind of like, my husband would spend every minute with me if he could. I would spend every minute with my girlfriend if I could. All right, every single minute. She could be doing the most ridiculous things, and I would be there. All right, I would be there. I would want to be a part of it. Okay. But I'm not, all right? I respect her boundaries, all right? So yes, you are not the a-hole. Let's read a couple more of these. Not the a-hole. My wife effing rule. I love this guy. But I still don't like to work out with her. The idea that you need to do everything together is pretty immature. Okay, yeah. Yeah, not the a-hole. My husband and I have a garage gym with everything we need, but normally he'd work out during the day and I'd work out when we got home from work. He was like, hey, let's try working out together. I could manage fine, but he quickly realized he didn't like someone else in his face at all when he worked out. Yeah, that happens, okay? If you just said yes to your girlfriend, all right, and she came over, she would probably just not like the space, all right, and the environment because of all the other guys that are there to just lift. It's nice to have some things that are just yours. I agree. Coming close, all right, coming close. We're coming in close, guys. Focus, camera. Come on, focus. Okay, listen. If you have a significant other or a partner, you guys don't need to do everything together, but you will want to, all right? So, here's what you need to do. Say yes to going to do things together within certain limits, all right? But once you say yes, it doesn't mean that the other person is going to like it all that much, and they may want to change. That's exactly what's happened here! Alright guys, well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, then leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends about this new channel, because yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to be posting this. I'm going to be posting this type of content a lot, as well as a lot of skits. It's going to be ideally every day. So, if you want daily ones of these, Reddit, AITAH, gym-related content, then, fully, click those buttons down below. Give them a little tickle. Tickle the buttons. Tickle the buttons. All right, you get up there. You get a little tickle. The buttons right there. All right, you want to. All right. So with that, goodbye.